Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our week 3 of the Doomnite League. Unfortunately, this is a pre-record. I had to record the matches and put them up as a YouTube video because I was sick on the Saturday this was supposed to happen, so sorry about that. But we got amazing matches for you tonight. We got Midnight Rain versus Skysliders, Venoshock versus Phantastic Academy, and then we have got Machampions versus Shadowhand. So it's all kicking off, and trust me, you do not believe how the first match will end. You will not believe it, I guarantee it. I didn't expect it to end that way. You're not going to expect it to end that way. So let's get into the matches. Taking a quick look at the scores from last week's set, Midnight Rain have 0 scores on the board and are looking to pick some up in today's game set and matches. Venoshock, Machampions, Phantastic Academy, and Skysliders all have 1, and Shadowhands. Currently, Season 1's winners are still ahead with 2 points, hoping to keep their lead on this board. We're going to be watching Skysliders versus Midnight Rain first, so let's get to it. We're into the banning stage first, with Skysliders having the first pick on the bans. What Pokemon are they looking to pick up and get out of here against Midnight Rain? It looks like they're hovering on the Scissor, and Scissor is option. Debating it, going for it, going for getting the Scissor out of here. Meanwhile, on Midnight Rain's side, they're thinking, Skysliders, we don't want you to be having Zeraora. Haley's pick is going to be Zeraora, it seems, for the ban. And D-Tac is going to be picking up the Umbreon on the ban, and Crimson Codex going for a Pikachu. Very Jimmy and Doom-related bans, if I do say so myself, as many Pokemon that we like to play that. Seeing what they're going to be picking up now next onto it, we got Jimmy P. Doom looking at supporter potentially here for Skysliders, as he's had to sub in for them due to personal issues for one of the players. But actually, they're going to switch with D-Tac so he can secure the Absol. With the recent patches, Absol being very good, getting a good buff. Zelku's going to be picking up the Blastoise, and Kurakami is going to be picking up a Garchomp. We see Tumble grabbing the Tinkaton, something we haven't seen get super loads of play in the league, or really in anything, honestly. But we're seeing it pick up some lately. Burning Speed takes the Crustle. Meanwhile, Rhino and Haley are looking at their options. Rhino seems to be hovering on the supporters, grabbing the Clefable, looking to shut down that Absol. Meanwhile, Haley is debating between some ranged attackers here. A few options for her to be picking up, but she ends up settling on one of her mains, that is Greninja. And Jimmy P. Doom still eyeing up the supporter role here for Skysliders. Menina grabbing the Urshifu. And Jimmy, last to pick, he's going to be picking up that Eldegoss. Crimson, final member on Midnight Rain to be grabbing a Pokemon, and he's going to be grabbing the Gengar. We got some speedsters in the mix in this speedster meta. So on the side of Skysliders, you got D-Tac on Absol, Tumble on Tinker, Crustle is Burning Speed, Menina on Urshifu, Jimmy P. Doom on Eldegoss, and Zelku on Blastoise, Kurakami on Garchomp, Rhino on Clefable, Haley on the Greninja, and Crimson Codex on the Gengar. Which team is going to be picking up some points today? Our purple team is going to be Skysliders. Our orange team is going to be Midnight Rain. Let's see how these goes and which roles and locations people are going to be going on. It looks like Jimmy P. Doom and Menina with the Urshifu and the Eldegoss are going to be taking bottom. Crustle and Tinkaton taking top for Skysliders. Meanwhile, for Midnight Rain, we're seeing Froakie and Squirtle up top, Ghastly in jungle, and Clefable and Garchomp on bot lane. We're going to be following the bot lane path here. Menina getting a little lost on where the XP is, but Jimmy going straight for it there. But so was Kurakami and our Clefable. They were all going for that XP. We're just looking to pick up levels here as the game has only just begun. Meanwhile, up top, we're seeing a bit of a clash going on up here, and down goes the Froakie. It looks like Haley got taken out, and the Crussle's able to put 10 points over. But meanwhile, there's a counter score going on as Zelku goes and not only takes the berry, but gets a Dunkin. Those sunglasses sure do be helping with being cool, it seems. Down bot, we see junglers have made their appearance as Absol has made their way bottom. And so has Haunter, so both junglers have found themselves down the bottom lane. And it looks like things are going in favor of Midnight Rain here as down goes Ghastly, down goes Menina, and it's just Jimmy left trying to defend against a Haunter, a Clefable, and a Garchomp, which is a pretty rough thing to do as a Gossifleur. Gospel not likely to do it, but he's putting up a good thing. The jungler has reappeared. D-Tac is trying to help him out. Manages to take down all of them. They all get taken down. It looks like it's going a little rough for Sky Sliders here. Midnight Rain have been able to push points across the board from both sides here. Up top, we see Tinkaton trying to defend against the War Turtle, and the Froakie Crustle is now here. Still a Froakie, however, so options to defend and deal with that are pretty good for a Tinker. It is still a Tinker-Tink, I believe, so not... It might be mid-stage, actually. I'm really bad at remembering the Tinkaton stages. I do apologize. They are able to get their points across, get a stack for Tumble, and continue to grab the XP. Meanwhile, down bottom, Midnight Rain are able to push points. And it looks like Sky Sliders are having to stick a bit further back in the bottom path as their tier 1 has been broken. Up top, we see people have gathered into the mid spot, having a bit of a tumble there. And we see that Zelka is trying to defend off against a good chunk of Burning Speed and Tumble here. Tumble still not fully evolved, but more than likely able to take a fight with a Crustle at their side against a Greninja. Crustle chasing down Haley. They're determined to get that KO. Will they be now making their way bot? They will not. They will be heading top, actually. Meanwhile, Jimmy is getting beat up by a Garchomp who is chasing them to their tier 2. Not looking great down bot here. Menina has showed up. Hopefully can jump on that Garchomp. But Garchomp is uniting to stop Menina from being able to take it out. We see D-Tac has joined the fray now, and they are able, as a team of 3, to be able to put that Garchomp and its uniting chaos out of the way. Regirock has spawned down bot, so we have a little bit of a split going on for the first 2 objectives, with 3 of Sky Sliders being down bottom to go for it. They're hoping to steal this off them. It's regenning, though. It could be anyone's game right now. Crimson versus D-Tac. D-Tac gets taken out by what looks like the Reggie. And so Midnight Rain are able to secure that one. Meanwhile, with the top objective, we're not seeing much pushes. We do have a Tinkaton now. Evolution has happened. Haley's also a Greninja, so all parties are leveled up and evolved fully. Crustle trying to badger them a little bit, but gets a little caught out there. And now we've got 3 members of Midnight Rain up top focusing on going for getting this Regieleki. The Regieleki is going to Midnight Rain, and they are going to be working together as their whole team is up there to push it. Jimmy P. Doom are probably not going to be able to fend off against 5, but they are able to take out the Greninja. Kurakami keeps them off so that the Eleki goes in and they can dunk their points across, taking the tier 1 for the top as well. And it looks like they are pushing a little bit just to get them off their backs. Gonna be securing the XP that's now up top, as a big chunk of them are grouped there, and they can. Crims are going to be taking a return to base in this opportunity. Meanwhile, down bot, Haley has made her way down bottom. Everyone's just maneuvering across the map, looking to pick up some XP, get those levels sorted out. The level advantage is relatively even, honestly, with 3 level 9s on both teams, but a level 11 on Midnight Rain's team and 2 level 10s on, now on level 11, I lied. Haley's been caught out by D-Tac. D-Tac going for the charge there on the Greninja and taking it out, but Kurakami is jumping on in. Garchomp obviously able to ramp up, takes out D-Tac, and is now focusing in on Menina. Has a lot more HP, is going after, actually pushing to go towards where the birds are to deny them some XP, and Menina is pushed back to goal, all while the Garchomp is able to nom 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 up that XP. We see objectives will be spawning. The unfortunateness of missing a Unite happens there for D-Tac. Feels bad. You never want to see a Unite get missed, but here we are. Midnight Rain able to take out the members of Sky Sliders who are lurking about here, and working as a team are going to be going for this Registeel and are able to get it and have enough time to maneuver up the map to go towards the top objective of Eleki, which is now just spawning. This does mean Sky Sliders have had time to get up there and get themselves in position, though. And we see some of Midnight Rain are actually going to go for pushing some dunks over 188 points to 242. So Sky Sliders right now having a bit of a free reign. Haley going in for the steal, though. Looking to get it. Crimson Codex also there. Haley is able to secure the steal, so that Regieleki that they were able to work on was not going to go in their favor and was not going to be going their way. Skysider's going to have to work to get rid of this Regieleki, but a minute 25 until Rayquaza. Midnight Rain finding on them, going, I know where you are on this map. They're going to actually go for a fight here and try to take out some of Skysider's. Crossel goes down, Jimmy goes down. Tumble is all that's left to defend against 3 of Midnight Rain right now. Skysider's grouping up to try and push them back off of their tier 2. They really don't want to be losing top tier 2. Personally, for me, I don't like losing top tier 2. That's probably the one I want to lose the least. You can't send an Aleki my way from bottom, but you sure can from up top. Everyone's sort of sticking to their sides of the maps for the next moments of time, shall we say, as they prepare for the Rayquaza. It's always good to get your Unites farmed up, get yourself in good position. Seeing a couple of the Unites on Skysider's side are not currently charged up. Garchomp also missing their Unite for Midnight Rain. Skysiders seem to be positioning themselves somewhat near the objective, but not feeling convinced they can take that in just a few seconds, whereas Midnight Rain are feeling a little more confident or hoping to at least keep Skysiders away from getting it. Everyone should be getting into their Ray positions right now, and that's what Skysiders have chosen to do, positioning themselves in bushes. Midnight Rain all positioning themselves relatively in them. Haley a little bit late to getting into the bush there. More than likely that Skysiders knew where it was. And it's a big old clash. There's a lot going on. Down goes Menina. Crimson Codex is going down, as is Garchomp on the side of Midnight Rain. Down goes Tumble with the Tinkaton. Down goes D-Tac with the Absol. Down goes Jimmy as the Eldegoss, and Burning Speed with 1 HP in a Dream is not able to survive the Dream. But only 2 members of Midnight Rain are alive right now, and Haley is on negative HP. And the Blastoise is also looking a little worse for wear, so they're going to choose to take a return to home, it seems, and reset themselves ready for the next fight. No Unites left on Skysider's side, 1 Unite left on Midnight Rains. They're all heading back into the Rayquaza pit. It's 2-3-4 to 2-4-2 on the points. So actually, any Batcat from Skysiders here can put them in the lead and force pressure onto Midnight Rain. We're going for another big old clash. Down goes the Urshifu and the Crossel. Down goes Greninja and Clefable. Down goes the Absol on Skysider's side. And it looks like we're seeing them be pushed pretty far back away from Rayquaza. Tumble trying to take the fight with Kurokami and Zelka, but down they go. Gengar going for a Batcap here. If Crimson Codex gets this off, which they don't, Menina's taken the jump to clear them out and stop that. That 50 Batcap would have secured the lead. 30 seconds on the clock. Not a lot to go here. No Rayquaza secured for anybody. Team fights went a little bit of the way that they couldn't. Jimmy's going for a Batcap, and if he gets this Batcap off, then that's likely to put them in the lead. But we see that Garchomp is also going for a Batcap. 308 to 308. Was that a tie? I think we've just seen a tie. And you know how Unite works in a tie. First to the score gets the win. Does that mean we are seeing the first ever tie on the Doomnite League? Both got their dunks off, but I think both reached the same points. It is a tie, 308 to 308 points. I'm pretty sure Unite decides that if that's the case, it's going to go to whoever got to the points first. So I'm pretty sure that's how that works. It is a tie, and because Jimmy's dunk went in and got them to 308 first, it is going to go to Skysiders. First point going to Skysiders due to the tie. Take it in, folks. The first tie of the Doomnite League, and we've ran 2 seasons of this now, and this is the first time I think we've ever seen a tie. So actually crazy. Unhinges. Did not expect to see it. MVPs for that team were Jimmy P. Doom. And, you know, it makes sense. His score was the score that got them to 308 first, as if they both had the exact same points. Kurokami taking MVP for Midnight Rain. We're going to switch sides and be right back with y'all. With the teams now changed sides, I think we're ready to go into Game 2. Game 1, what a way to start this week of the Unite League with a tie. As if. What was the likelihood? In the ban phase now, Haley gets first pick. Ban in the Clefable, does not want to see it. Tumble taking the, we don't want to see that Greninja. We're good. We don't want to see the Greninja now. Crimson Codex debating the Pikachu ban, not feeling like they want to see the Pikachu. And Burning Speed debating that Gengar ban. Gengar is not one many people want to see in this speedster meta. Pikachu had some buffs recently too, so could be strong. Will we see much team changes to the compositions on this one? Zelku's picking up the Zeraora. It's open, so they're taking it. Menina's debating through. Played Urshifu last game. Switching potentially to the Lucario. We are seeing the Lucario pick up and securing D-Tac the Absol in this speedster meta that we are living. Kurakami's going to stick with the Blastoise. Did them well last game. Is Rhino also going to be switching off the Crustle? Oh, no, wait. I'm wrong. I'm wrong about who played Crustle, but what are we seeing Rhino pick up for this game? Rhino's going to be picking up the Ninetales. The duck is open. I didn't realize that, but the duck is actually open. Tumble on the Tyranitar. Jimmy not picking up duck and sticking with the Eldegoss. Tumble sticking with the Tinkaton. It's cute and it's got a giant hammer. What more do you want? Will we be seeing Haley switch off of ranged attacker since Rhino is? We are. We're seeing Haley switch over to the defender role, and Crimson Codex is going over to play on Ceruledge. Meanwhile, Burning Speed is sticking with the Crustle. And here are your two teams for this game. On Midnight Rain side, we got Zelko on Blastoise, Kurakami on Zeraora, Rhino on Alolan Ninetales, Haley on Umbreon, and Ceruledge is Crimson Codex. Your right side, Sky Sliders, D-Tac on Absol, Menina on Lucario, Eldegoss is Jimmy, Tinkaton is Tumble, and Crustle is going to be the Burn-In Speed. Which team's going to take it? If Sky Sliders win, that's going to get them a point. Their first game was ridiculous. Let's see how game 2 goes. Our purple side, Midnight Rain, our orange side, Sky Sliders. We're going to follow top path. Selko skipping the first bunny and going for bunny number 2, splitting that XP between themselves and Rhino as they are not running XP share. More love for the XP share, please. XP share Poggy. And definitely in coordinated play. Love to see more XP share. Everyone's focusing on getting their XP at the moment. We've got Ninetales and Squirtle up top for Midnight Rain. Charcadet and Charcadet and Eevee down bot for Midnight Rain, and Zeraora in jungle. And Sky Sliders, they're now clashing, but they're kind of going down equal parties here. One aside goes down, so neither are really able to push an advantage, get any dunks across. Kind of able to keep each other's plans at bay. Ninetales securing the XP to get itself evolved. And I think we're seeing Kurakami is going to be heading up top for Midnight Rain and going for a gank. But D-Tac has met them at top as well, going in for their own kind of gank. We're seeing kind of just a jungle fight off in the middle here. And down goes the Absol. Tumble and Burning Speed retreating off from the Ninetales and Squirtle. Ninetales, very, very oppressive. Down bottom, it's all chilling games. Menina and Jimmy just grabbing up XP as and where they can get it. We briefly saw the jungler heading down that way, but they actually backed to go to the middle, I want to say middle. 4 points gone across so far in Midnight Rain. Not the strongest of leads, but it is the lead. Menina trying to take a fight with Crimson, almost taking Crimson down, but Haley is there to save. D-Tac has come to join the fray, hits the XP instead of being able to hit the enemies. Jimmy's helping out. He's doing his support for as best he can, keeping D-Tac and Menina fighting against him. And now the Zeraora's joined out. It's just ripping through. It's doing what Zeraora do best, ripping through them. Kurakami has fended off a good chunk of them, and Jimmy has no choice but to retreat here. But Kurakami is actually not letting that happen and just kills Jimmy on his own goal and gets to dunk the points across. Now the lead's looking a lot spicier at 94 points. D-Tac heading down home to clear Kurakami out, and they are able to do that. Objectives will be spawning in 20 seconds. Everyone's going for XP. Crossel going to dunk some points across for Sky Sliders there with 28. Just a Blastoise trying to fend them off. And the Ninetales up there. I'm lying. Midnight Rain is fending off with Blastoise and a Ninetales. We're keeping an eye on bot path. D-Tac is circling. Jimmy is there. Menina's there. We got 3 of Sky Sliders down bot. And it looks like we've got 3 of Midnight Rain grouping up this way. Ceruledge jumping in. Zeraora charging through. Down goes Menina. D-Tac jumping on the Umbreon, trying to take Haley out of this fight. And he's able to. Jimmy's with them as well. D-Tac going for the dunk. Regieleki going in favor of Midnight Rain, going towards Sky Sliders, tier 2 up top. And D-Tac is going for extra points, which he just gets off. He just gets those points across. D-Tac does die for their sin, though. Meanwhile, up top, the Aleki has gone in, but Jimmy is trying to fend them off from being able to get close enough to the goal to dunk any points. But Rhino's running for it and gets those points across. While there's 3 of Sky Sliders up top to defend, the insta-dunking is too strong, and just getting past them, they're able to dunkety-dunk. A lot of groups congregating at bottom now. Sky Sliders have 3 of their team lurking about bottom. Meanwhile, Sky Sliders Tumble has gone up top to dunk some points. It's going to try and take whatever XP they can get to get some stacks, I imagine, up. Rhino and Zelku are there to stop him, and Kurakami, so it looks like this poor little Tinkaton is going to die for its attempt. Got a stack, but died in the process. Feels bad. Down bottom, we're having a little bit of a scuffle. Jimmy fighting the Crimson Codex with 3 of his team. 3 of them down there for Sky Sliders, so able to put a bit of pressure on Crimson Codex, but Crossel gunning for that berry, did not make it. Did allow some points to go across for Menina, potentially getting them a stack as well. Jimmy using Unite, hoping for a big old help there. Umbreon Unite is up, though. We're seeing all the Unites happening there. Jimmy mean looked, so he's not getting away. He's trying to. He gets out of it by running in circles. D-Tac charging in, takes out the Umbreon and the Ceruledge, and Jimmy's not able to dunk those 40 points due to being in Unite, and that, unfortunately, stopped him from being able to dunk them at all, and they're not going to get any points across. Focusing on the Regirock now, we have Rhino and Zelku lurking about to try and stop them getting it. Menina's come down to help, though. Jimmy's almost out. Menina using Unite, but they're getting pushed off of the Regirock. Tinkaton slow approaching with a hammer. The Blastoise is able to get it for Midnight Rain. Midnight Rain really needing to get some points on the board today. This will be their first point in the Doomnite League. So getting them with some points on the board, always good, always feels good. We're looking to get points. Midnight Rain are going for this Regieleki, and they're able to secure it as well. Jimmy is just taken down by the Zeraora. There's a lot of Midnight Rain here pushing it. The Crossel is looking pretty weak. Well, down goes Rhino for Midnight Rain. The rest of them are able to survive it. Tinkaton trying to defend, using its hammer as best as it can. Blastoise trying to push them off the goal. Menina coming in to try and keep it off. It's a big old fray going on. Zeraora uses Unite, but it looks like Sky Sliders are actually doing a pretty good job here of defending this off, and the Aleki is unlikely to get in, with most of Sky Sliders being around the area to fend off this Aleki. Now seeing a counter push from Sky Sliders. They're going to dunk as many points as they can up top. Absol able to get the points across. Zelku trying to defend them off, but there is a lot of them. In comes the Zeraora. That's going to blitz through pretty quickly if it's allowed to. Rhino's also there on the Ninetales. Umbreon using Unite at the 3-minute mark. Not sure how quickly that regens, but potentially a chance for that to happen. And Tumble and Jimmy P. Doom just grabbing some XP. We'll have an objective down bottom in around 20 seconds, so everyone's kind of chilling. Midnight Rain are very heavy on the map control here against Sky Sliders. 304 points to 204, so 100 points in it in favor of Midnight Rain right now. They've caught out the poor Tinkaton, able to take a lot of HP off that Tinkaton. It's going to need to reset before Ray if it wants to be in that fight. Down bottom, are any of the teams actually focusing in on it? The Zeraora was invisible for a second there inside the Regice, but it's out now. It's a physical thing, we swear. Down goes Zeraora and Ninetales, and Sky Sliders are able to take that Reggie Ice before Rayquaza. 8 seconds till the Rayquaza, and with their team all alive and 2 of Midnight Rain dead at present, it means Sky Sliders are going to be able to set themselves up. They immediately catch out the Umbreon and the Ceruledge. In comes the Blastoise as well. Lots of Unites being dropped here from everybody. Down goes the Charcadet. Down goes the Ninetales. Down goes Crustle. Still pushing this fight here. It's kind of more in favor of Midnight Rain right now, with 3 of Sky Sliders now out for the count. Zeraora using its Unite, chasing down the final 2 members of Sky Sliders, taking out Jimmy. Tumble is doing their best here to try and fend him off, but fending off a Zeraora is able to do it. It's a scary thing, but they were able to do it. Now there's 1 dead on the side of Sky Sliders and 2 down for Midnight Rain. Tumble trying not to get caught out here. Midnight Rain hitting the Rayquaza lightly, jumping straight into the fray again. We're hoping to catch out the members of Midnight Rain that are there. Sky Sliders are pushing a lot forward here, making momentum. Menina gets caught out by the Blastoise. Cross isn't able to push off, and they're actually ripping through the Rayquaza while they can. They need to keep both Umbreon and Blastoise away from that Rayquaza to secure this. Umbreon runs in. The Rayquaza is secured, and it's going on the side of Sky Sliders. Zeraora doing their best to try and get rid of the Crustle shield, hoping to stop. Jimmy gets a dunk in the top goal. That's the points across 296, so to 304. Still not in it. Sky Sliders get another 100 points across from the Absol, but there's a counter dunk going on from the Umbreon, getting 100 across theirs. 404 to 396. So right now, Sky Sliders are not in the lead despite having Rayquaza, and I'm not sure if they've got 18 seconds to get any form of dunk across in this game. Midnight Rain are going for another 50, but the Crussle's going for a 50 as well. Is Crustle going to pull this off? Jimmy gets 25 into home with his shield. That'll do it. Crustle didn't... Oh, Crustle gets the 50 off as well. 100 points in. That's 100 odd points across. Sky Sliders might just have done it. It's really close. These 2 teams have had incredibly close matches all night tonight, and an insane way to start off this week of the Doomnite League. Watching the points trickling in on in. It is Sky Sliders. They're going to be taking the next point at 546 to 404 points. Goddamn, that was down to the wire for both teams. Kurakami getting MVP for Sky Sliders. Not Sky Sliders, Midnight Rain. D-Tech getting it for Sky Sliders. The damage. Zelku doing... Oh my god. Zelku and Kurakami doing insane amounts of damage. I'm sorry, I can't read. I am bad at that. Doing insane amounts of damage for their team, helping them out. Both teams played phenomenally. GG to Sky Sliders. Taking a quick look at the current scores. Sky Sliders are currently now on 2 points this season, grabbing in points. Really pulling it together. These last 2 weeks have been good for Sky Sliders. They've managed to grab points on the board twice now, so they're sitting with 2 points. Shadowhound's yet to have their match, so not sure if they'll be on 3 or 2. Next up is going to be a Phantastic and Venoshock, but right now, Sky Sliders, congratulations on your 2 points. Midnight Rain, I'm looking at y'all to pick up points next set. Looking at y'all. I got expectant looks. I believe in y'all. Don't give up. You got this. All right, next up, we got Phantastic Academy versus Venoshock. That's what we're going to be picking up now. Let's see. We got Phantastic Academy on the left, Venoshock on the right. Phantastic Academy getting the first bans. Nico Gamer looking to ban... What are they vibing today? What's the first ban going to be? Do they know what the Team Doom players... They were formerly Team Doom players. Do they know what they are going to be playing? They're going for the Dragapult. Looks like we're going for a Jimmy target here. Jimmy often playing Dragapult in Season 1 as a jungler, and Shiro is not letting Costas anywhere near Miraidon, it seems. Miraidon is looking to be the next ban. Jimmy's team going for a Scizor ban, and for their final pickup, what are they vibing? What's the vibe? What's the flow? Going for the Meowscarada ban. Targeting both Costas and Jimmy with those bans, the Dragapult and Miraidon, Scizor and Meowscarada. First pick is going to Phantastic Academy, who are going to be picking up the Umbreon. Griffalo looking to pick up the Snorlax. Debating the Slowbro, knowing Griffalo likes to prioritize into defenders. There's a high chance that he will pick up something, but he's going to go for the Snorlax, it seems. Martin lingering on a Ceruledge, which would be an interesting pickup, as we've often seen Martin playing defender. But in reality, he's going to go for the Tinkaton, and Griffalo's going to be picking up that Snorlax. On the side of Phantastic Academy, Apollo and Professor Malice looking to play here. What are they picking up? Actually, we're going to see a switch from Professor Malice to Nico Gamer being allowed to pick up Glaceon. And Apollo bouncing between a lot of different roles here. What are they likely to pick up? We've seen Professor Malice play a lot of different roles at this point. Very versatile in their choice of pool. So still anything to play for. Apollo picks up the Cinderace. Wolfie off of all-rounder after playing an entire season as Mimikyu and going on to the defender of Slowbro. It's Costas to pick with Miraidon banned. What is Costas going to be feeling today? What's going to be the vibe? Costas looking at the Espeon. Are we going to be seeing an Espeon pickup here? We're seeing a Delphox pickup. Now for Professor Malice, a player who has absolutely shown that they can play pretty much any role or have at least a Pokemon in each role. Are we going to be seeing them pick up the Clefable? Does Clefable do much against this team? It'll shut down Costas if they go for a particular build of Delphox, but I'm not sure how much it shuts down. Oh, it will shut down Tinkaton for some degrees if it goes for Gravity and such. Malice is actually going to be picking up the Clefable with Shiro picking up the Buzzwole. So last pick is on Jimmy, who is primarily a jungle player, and he's taken that Zeraora. All right, loading in. We got Umbreon, Cinderace, Glaceon, Clefable, and Buzzwole for Phantastic Academy, and Snorlax, Tinkaton, Slowbro, Delphox, and Zeraora for Venoshock. Which teams are going to be picking up some points today? Phantastic Academy, formerly known as Big Adventures in previous seasons, has a lot of the players from that team have been able to do really well in the tournament so far. So looking forward to seeing how they're doing. Your purple team will be Phantastic Academy. Your orange team will be Venoshock. And we're going to follow the top lane for this starting out phase. Buzzwole and Glaceon in the... Buzzwole and Umbreon in the top lane for Phantastic Academy. Clefable, Cinderace bot lane with an Eevee jungle, followed by Zeraora jungle for Venoshock, Delphox and Slowbro up top, and Tinkaton and Snorlax down bottom. Right now, it's just going to be a case of going and getting our XP, seeing who can get the contesteds and who's going to get the level first. With Umbreon getting to evolve at level 4, it's pretty scary. Costas is going for the contested XP here. My switch got bored. Costas able to secure the contested XP, get evolved up into Braixen. Down bottom, Tinkaton's probably looking to get into some fights here and get their stacks up for their passive ability. Snorlax able to really put the pressure on. Very oppressive early game. Very, very oppressive. So Cinderace and Clefairy are having a little difficulties moving that. We've seen the junglers have actually gone top, prepping for a jungle gank on the side of Venoshock. Mid-birds are up. Venoshock's gone in for it. Jimmy's going in. Takes down the Buzzwole. K-Dog is not evolved yet. It's still an Eevee, not an Umbreon. And going up against 3 as an Eevee is looking really rough. Glaceon has come to try and save the Eevee. It wasn't enough to save the Eevee, but maybe they can defend the goal and stop too many points going there. Wolfie doing some interference. We now have Shiro have arrived up top to help out, and it looks like Venoshock are going to back off that push for a second and just focus on getting their XP and get this Braixen into a Delphox before we get our first objectives. Meanwhile, down bottom, everything seems pretty chill. Mid XP going there. Looks like Tinkaton is going to be trying to get those stacks up, taking some hits. It's got a Snorlax to defend it, so it can go in for some of these hits. Apollo evolving into the mid stage of Cinderace does mean it's going to be a little hard for them to get it. Venoshock have successfully gone and got the middle XP with minimal casualties, ergo no casualties. And now Jimmy has gone back to clear his jungle, and it's all pretty chill on this map right now until we get to our next experience points, or our next objectives, as it were. I'm slow-brained. Hiding in bushes is all part of this game. Griff going in with a heavy slam, trying to give his team the opportunity. Jimmy's going in, charging onto them, stops them getting the berries. Heavy slam. Griff's going to steal the berry. Jimmy's going to get a 30 dunk over. Martin's going to get a 10. Griffalo keeping the Glaceon off them as best as it can. Glaceon almost dead. Griff going and getting the berry, stopping the Glaceon, hitting it with a heavy slam. Glaceon is down. Venoshock are putting a lot of pressure onto Phantastic Academy for this first game. Professor Malice is down. trying to stop them, but 3 of them pushing it. Look at how big Martin has got. A lot of stacks up for his moves right now. We can see by the size of the circle on the floor, he has got a good chunk of his stacks. I won't know exact numbers for that, but there, Martin is just actually using this opportunity to get stacked up on his items too. Bottom objective already secured by Venoshock, heading to the top objective where most of Phantastic Academy are there, tackling onto the Wolfie. Wolfie is uber out of place here, getting completely bombarded by them, holding them off for as long as he can, which is long enough because his team have managed to get to the top, and they are wiping through Phantastic Academy. Umbreon trying to defend them off. Heavy slam from the Snorlax and the Tinkaton. Brutal. Heavy slam, Tinkaton combo. Seeming kind of brutal, honestly. They clear them out. They're dunking points. They're pushing for getting rid of this goal before they go for the Aleki. Although Jimmy has already started making work of the Aleki. Aleki going to Venoshock. Are they going to be pushing this forward? All of Phantastic Academy are grouped up top to ready to defend this one. Delphox having a little bit of fish to see who they can find, and it looks like they're going to just be letting this walk, actually. It does look like they're just letting this walk. Phantastic Academy going to work as a team of 5 to defend this off, kind of sticking together now, hoping to regain advantage. Levels are in the favor of Venoshock, but only by a couple. Actually, you know what? I'm probably lying. Venoshock have 3 Pokemon above the level of 10, as that's pretty bad. That's pretty rough. Phantastic Academy have a little bit of a roughing against them with the fact that they're above level 10 and they don't have a single level 10 on their side, so they're going to have to be looking to focus on XP and not necessarily getting into fights. Sticking as a ball, not the worst strat here. Everyone's kind of lingering around places. Oh, the Glaceon is caught out by the heavy slam of the Snorlax as they're fishing around. There's no XP on the map right now, so Venoshock are going to take this time. They've killed the Glaceon. They're going to take it as a chance to just go and get some dunks across on the tier 2 of bot goal. Meanwhile, Phantastic Academy, with the level disadvantage, are having to play passively, focusing on working together to get XP up for their members as and when they can. Bottom objective is up, and it seems that Venoshock are the ones doing that. Meanwhile, Phantastic Academy just prioritizing staying up top. Venoshock able to easily get that as their uncontested. Wolfie here to defend a goal. All 5 of Phantastic Academy are up here, so staying on goal is our best friend. Not engaging in a fight until your team's up would have been the shout, but Wolfie went in with a serve and got wiped out, and the team just make it in the nick of time. Delphox Unite to keep them off that goal. 3 of Phantastic Academy down, 4 of Phantastic Academy down, only 1 left, and Jimmy is just going to make work on the objective of getting a Regieleki. If you can hear dogs barking, I apologize. There is someone at the door. I did not expect this. I apologize. Even in a pre-record, I'm not re-commentating this, so you're having dog barks. Venoshock are pushing for tier 2 on the top lane now, pushing this Aleki, going for it, taking out 2 of the members of Phantastic Academy. We see Unite from the Cinderace trying to clear it out. Down goes the Buzzwole, down goes the Cinderace. The Aleki's gone in. The points are going across, 419 to 0 points right now. The map advantage is in favor of Venoshock. The levels have balanced out, except for the fact Venoshock have got a 2 level 13. So while we've got level 10s going on Phantastic Academy side, the levels are much in the favor of Venoshock right now, and it's going to be hard to get it. But Venoshock should slow down on levels because they're going to be needing more XP to get anywhere. So hopefully it's able to level out. 1 minute till Rave. Really don't want to be pushing these fights. Venoshock are kind of rolling back off here. There's going to be an objective in about 20 seconds. Phantastic Academy doing great grouping together to try and turn the tables of this match. Snorlax heavy slamming, able to stun people so the Tinkaton could just bonk. It's kind of disgusting, honestly. Down goes 4 of Phantastic Academy's members, so Venoshock are safely here at the bottom, able to pretty much get this uncontested. That Glaceon is just going to have to focus on getting XP right now and saving anything it can do for the Rayquaza fight. It's all it can do. Phantastic Academy got a little bit of time to grab. They're not going to be able to set up because Venoshock have gone into the bushes. They're pushing them back. The Glaceon gets caught out just before Rayquaza. It'll spawn back in about 4 seconds after Rayquaza. Unfortunate. Martin hiding in the bush there to catch anyone coming off the tier 2 goal from going, doing heavy damage on Apollo. Venoshock got a lot of map advantage here, pushing these guys to the further side. They're not even getting near the Rayquaza. Delphox Unite on a bunch of them, proper dirty, team wiping them before the Ray. They're just gonna be able to go for this Rayquaza now, and it's gonna be a few seconds before anyone spawns up. It is gonna be a Cinderace, which could potentially go for a steal, but we have the secure on the Tinkaton, and Tinkaton is able to secure that. Rayquaza going to Venoshock, 0 points to 419. Rayquaza was really the shot here for Phantastic Academy, and unfortunately it just didn't pan out. Venoshock were very dominant on the map. They were not quite willing to let people get anywhere with the moves. And now they're on the home. 1 minute left, wiping through them and just dunking. Are we going to see a 1,000-point game? A 1,000-point game. We've 803 to 0 right now. It's looking pretty cooked, but Phantastic Academy are going to keep going. Wolfie getting chased down by the team. They're going to take the kills where they can get them. And Venoshock are doing what any team would probably do here, which is go for the defend. Shiro hoping to get it, but Jimmy sneaks out of a bush and stops him and takes down Shiro. You're not getting the points across that. Malice hiding, wondering, what do I do here? I know there's a Jimmy lurking about. This goal is probably not a dice, but he's caught by the Delphox. Delphox Unite down on the goal. There's no dice of getting those points. Cleared out anybody that tried to push at the top. Venoshock are just going to defend for the last 10 seconds of this game, and if Phantastic Academy can get 800 points in 10 seconds, I'm terrified of them. The match is over. It's cooked. We're looking to see which points, like which team's taking the win here, but I think this is a 0-point game to an 800. Yeah, 803 to 0 points. Feeling rough. Venoshock going to be taking game 1 against Phantastic Academy. Professor Malice getting MVP for Phantastic Academy, who got 3 kills. And as far as I remember, I think all those kills were on Wolfie. Feels bad. MVP for Venoshock is Jimmy P. Doom. What are we going to see as bans? Did they find things from this composition a little bit too rough and they're going to ban those next? We'll find out when we switch over to the next matches. All right, into game 2. Are we going to see different bans being taken here? Is there any other priority bans that Phantastic Academy feel they need to do? Are Venoshock going to change up any of their bans so they feel they need to go for anything, or were they happy with how it went for them? Costas seems to be sticking with the Scissor ban. Phantastic Academy doing a ban on Tinkaton. They did not like that hammer. They were not having any of that hammer, which is freeing up potentially Miraidon, which is scary. We haven't seen Costas be allowed Miraidon at all this season. He was allowed it once and then never again. Jimmy P. Doom going for the Meowscarada ban, and Nico Gamer going for the Snorlax. So yeah, the Snorlax-Tinkaton combo seems to have been what Phantastic Academy did not like, meaning both Dragapult and Miraidon are back on the table for Venoshock. Venoshock are getting first pick this time. Suicune is obviously banned, so it's not going to be seen played in our events because it's not available publicly. You have to do it through the event, so it's not been allowed in play yet. Costas is gonna take that Miraidon as soon as it's available. We're seeing a Costas Miraidon game. We haven't seen one of those since week 1. On the side of Phantastic Academy, they're gonna be picking up. What are they gonna be picking up? Oh, we're seeing a Machamp game, my boy! My boy. Unless you're on Instagram where you scream at me to leave Machamp alone. My boy! K-Dog's picking up the tree. Trevenant is seeing play. Will Wolfie be changing off anything, or will he be staying on the Slowbro? Griffalo going to Blastoise due to Snorlax being banned. Wolfie is going to be picking up the Slowbro. Professor Malice debating what they're going to be grabbing here. Nico Gamer is going for the Mimikyu. Malice grabbing the Greninja. He's off of the support role now. King Zidon hasn't got Tinkaton anymore, so what is he going to go with? And what is Jimmy's role? Where is he going to go for it? Going to stick on the Zeraora for the Jimmy? And seeing the sword coming out from play from Martin. Going to be seeing the sword come out. Last pick is left for Phantastic Academy. They're going to be picking up Metagross. A lot of all-rounders on Phantastic Academy's side. Not likely to be bonked out quite as easily. Going to have a little bit of difficulty being shredded out by the Zeraora. Interesting to see so many all-rounders on one team. Interesting that there's so many all-rounders in this one game. Miraidon, Blastoise, Slowbro, Aegislash, and Zeraora for Venoshock. Trevenant, Machamp, Greninja, Mimikyu, and Metagross for Phantastic Academy. Our purple team this turn is going to be Venoshock. Our orange team is going to be Phantastic Academy. And the game starts. We're seeing Miraidon and Slowbro taking top, Squirtle and Aegislash taking bottom for Venoshock, with Jimmy in jungle as Zeraora. Meanwhile, Mimikyu jungle for Phantastic Academy, Froakie and Trevenant down bottom, and Metagross and Machamp up top. Contested XPs secured by Miraidon. Going to be trying to keep these guys unevolved as long as possible, which always feels like bad if it's done to you, but is the play to go for. Everyone's hiding in bushes. Apollo's sneaking out, but the dude, Miraidon is very, very oppressive early. It's just able to hit from so far away. They're going for their back bunnies now. Jimmy has headed his way up top, debated it, but has actually changed his mind and seems to be going for bottom. Actually, he's just going to pick a Speed Berry and commit to the bit. We are having the jungler from Phantastic Academy also heading up top. There's Mimikyu down bottom. Jimmy's in the middle on the birds, meaning the Metagross and Machop can't really risk going out for it. Machop is down. The Metagross is down. It's just Mimikyu with 3 pushing against them from Venoshock. Jimmy's able to get some dunks across here. So is Wolfie and so is Costas, meaning 42 points to 0. Meanwhile, down bottom, we're seeing unevolved on the side. The Greninja has just evolved into Frogadier, which means it's going to get a bit of a power boost. Sword is going for it though, but Sword is taken down. And so we have defenders left to keep on defending. We do have War Turtle on the side of Venoshock. Phantastic Academy able to keep any pushes from Venoshock at bay right now. Mid-birds are about to spawn. Will we be seeing a fight? A lot of Venoshock are in the middle, ready for it, but Phantastic Academy haven't actually made their way towards middle at all here, as one would expect. And Jimmy is now making his way down bot. We're keeping it chill now. Little bit of a clash as Wolfie pushes a little bit up the top here, but we're keeping it relatively chill down bot. Malice in the tree investigating to see if they could do it, and the sword is able to take out Frogadier. Bit dicey for the sword though, not got a lot of HP. War Turtle able to keep the Mimikyu off goal from getting any points across. Martin is able to get out of there and actually get enough XP to evolve, so he's now fully up to Aegislash. And it's just a Trevenant down bottom at the moment. Costas and Wolfie keeping things kept pretty at bay up top. We're going to be seeing objectives now spawn. What have we got? We've got the Reggie Ice down bottom. We've got Regieleki up top. Jimmy going in on the Peepos to try and stop them from going for this Reggie Ice. Griff doing a bit of damage on it. Mimikyu coming in to see if maybe they can hope for a steal. Professor Mouse also joining in. They hit the clone, so it's not going to go anywhere too far here. But the Reggie Ice is going to Venoshock, and the Aleki has yet to be touched. We're actually seeing a goal push instead here, with Venoshock deciding to go for this goal, and they're going to get a good chunk of points across. They're even able to go for a pretty spicy overdunk, but Jimmy doesn't go for it. He goes to try and keep them pushed back, while Martin and Griffalo keep them away from Jimmy, so Jimmy is able to get that overdunk of 20. Miraidon and Slowbro are able to keep anyone from getting anywhere near this Regieleki right now. Miraidon doing so much damage, taking out the Machamp. Jimmy's made it up top. Griff stayed bottom to defend in case of any back caps. And for God, Miraidon's range is so nutty. It's just such a ridiculously nutty range. Fighting on Phantastic Academy's goal here. Sword Unite. Sword kind of bouncing the tree back here. Miraidon just pewing from really far away. Kind of ridiculous. Aleki heading their way. We're not able to get the points in before Aleki broke it, unfortunately. So Aleki is not going to be going towards tier 2 at this point. So it's kind of just to keep it chill. 192 points to 0 points at the moment. Phantastic Academy not looking too far behind. In fact, they're ahead in points. Greninja being level 10. I'm lying about ahead of points. I'm lying. They are level 8s plus 1 level 10. But 1 level 10, we see 3 Pokemon level 10 or above. 4 Pokemon level 10 or above on Venoshock's side. Look at Miraidon just keeping them at bay from like halfway across from the goal. Miraidon's range is absolutely nutty. You can kind of see why people do not like letting Miraidon through for these guys. Jimmy going in to kind of keep them away from whatever this objective is. Martin going in on the Mimikyu, taking it out. Professor Mouse being chased off by the Blastoise, meaning Venoshock are able to go in and go for this Regirock. There is a lot of Phantastic Academy lurking about. Wolfie stayed top in order to defend the top goal, but Venoshock are able to secure that, and they're now pushing them back, keeping them off it. Will they go for a tier 2 push, or are they going to make their way up top before the next objective? It looks like a tier 2 push is going. Seeing a bunch of Unites getting used here. Oh, a bunch of Unites. But no points across just yet. Metagross has come to the pad. Tree is down there. Blastoise able to take the tree out. Mimikyu's down there, though. A lot of Phantastic Academy are going to be respawning and just jumping there. It seems like Venoshock are going to have to peel out of that attempt for a push. Machamp going in with a Unite, hitting on the Miraidon and the Sword. Greninja going down. Phantastic Academy are trying to do a counter push here. Miraidon from so far away just taking out that Machamp. Jimmy jumping in on the tree. Tree trying to do some CC there, but not quite able to. A minute 20 before Rayquaza. We do see the top objective has now spawned on the map. So Regieleki is up and ready to go. Wolfie going to badger them to try and stop them from getting the birds while waiting for his team to group up top with him. Shiro very bravely going for those birds, trying to get the XP to try and... The levels are way more balanced out now. While Venoshock are a little bit ahead, it's not massively ahead. They are able to get the Regieleki. Will they take the chance to push this? It's a bit dicey pushing it just before Rayquaza, but they're doing a little bit of a badger here. Having a little bit of badger. Jimmy's jumped in onto the Metagross, trying to push it. Are they going to keep up with that or peel out? Looks like Jimmy's going in on the Metagross once more, not able to... There it goes, but the Sword is the one to take it out, not Jimmy. They're actually able to pick up 2 kills with this push just before Rayquaza, but are going to peel out at that point. Jimmy goes down, but the Aleki does go in. Wolfie debating going in to try and get those points across, but 15 seconds to Ray. 2 of Venoshock are down before Ray. Miraidon trying to keep people away from Rayquaza pit so that people can get set up, but Venoshock are not going to have as much advantage here on setting up. And actually, Phantastic Academy are able to kind of get themselves into the Ray pit how they wanted to. Venoshock has still not got Jimmy back yet. Malice is in position in the bush, going for fishing. Manages to hit Griff, taking out like half of his HP. I can't speak. Nobody's really doing anything. It is on the side of Phantastic Academy to make a push here. Griff managing to land on them, scoring a Unite that hits around 4. That's 2 of the members of Phantastic Academy out. Miraidon Unite is bashing down, takes out another one. Down goes the 4th one. It's just a Greninja left, and the Sword is on it. Miraidon is pewing through it, through Rayquaza, which is just, oh my god, disgusting. It's just disgusting to see. Rayquaza is going to Venoshock. Not much Phantastic Academy can do here to push back, really. But we'll see what pushback they do. 100 points across for Venoshock. 508 points now to 0 points. 608 to 0 points. Machamp is fighting the sword. He takes him out. The Metagross and Machamp are able to take him out. Are they going to go for the top goal and try to get some points in? Trying to clear up their points. Both have got 50 points now. They're making their way to the top goal. Venoshock are still kind of on the opponent's side here, not defending their goals. The Metagross, it is dunking. It's trying to... Miraidon just misses, is slightly out of time to be able to stop it. 100 points across for Phantastic Academy. Miraidon now going for the defense of the goal, and it is a tough job getting near a Miraidon when it's on goal. Its range is just ridiculous. Phantastic Academy continuing to try and push through the jungle. Jimmy is on the Metagross, so is Miraidon. Metagross goes down, so goes them. 4 of the members of Phantastic Academy down. It's just down to a single tree in 6 seconds in a dream. I think this game is kind of cooked here, fam. I think Venoshock will have taken that. As best as I know, Phantastic Academy only managed to get 100 points across the board. Final scores being tallied up. 708 to 100 points, meaning Venoshock are going to be taking the points this time around. Jimmy P. Doom getting MVP for Venoshock. Shiro getting MVP for Phantastic Academy. 87,000 damage from the Jimmy, 70,000 from the Miraidon, 61,000 damage from the sword. Malice doing 55,000 damage. And there you have it. That's set 2. That is set 2 cooked. Taking our current scores to Venoshock grabbing their 2nd point on the board. Final points looking. Venoshock have got 2 points. Sky Sliders have got 2 points. Our next match is going to be Shadowhounds versus Machampions. So Machampions looking to either score their 2nd point, or Shadowhounds are going to get 3 points and be in the lead. Let's find out what happens when we'll be right back. We're on to Machampions versus Shadowhand coming up now. Our left side is going to be Machampions, and they're going to be getting the first ban. What are they looking to ban against Shadowhands? Currently, the team with the most points in the league at the moment. What are they going to be banning against them? What do you not want to see Shadowhands get to pick up this game? Liddy going for the Ho-Oh ban? Debating it. They're debating it. They are going for the Ho-Oh ban, and Tunks is going immediately for the Leafeon ban, a Pokemon we know Liddy is very fond of playing. Next ban coming from Machampions. What do they not want to see? They're taking the Blissey out, and Shadowhands are taking the Duck out. They don't want to see any of the Duck. We're going to be seeing some interesting pickups. I believe these two teams have a bit of a history. They were the 2 finalists in Season 1, and Shadowhands beat Machampions for winning the Doomnite League last season. So this is a bit of a rematch since Season 1. So it'll be interesting to see how the two teams end up playing against each other. Lapras getting picked up for Machampions. Meanwhile, Scissor for Shadowhands, and Card King looking to grab out. They're debating. They're debating. What are they going to be looking to pick up here? We've been through every role we could go through at this point. I'm not sure where they're going to go. Going for the Umbreon. They are grabbing the Umbreon. A very strong pick. A very popular pick. Over to Soul King and Bamboo to be picking things up here now. It's always scary facing Shadowhand. I've had to face them as a fill-in twice now. They're very strong. So you gotta take your choices carefully. Bamboo's picking up the Wigglytuff against them, and Soul King's picking up Buzzwole. Unknown's going to be grabbing the Mamoswine, getting to see one of my other favorite Pokemon to be played here. Tunks grabbing Alolan Ninetales. Am I seeing the Machamp again? The Machamp dream, is it alive? Is it cooking? It's not cooking. We're going to be seeing Inteleon grabbed, and we're going to see them grab the Urshifu. Meanwhile, Sceptile is grabbing the sword. The teams are set. Let's see how this goes. These are our teams. Lapras, Wigglytuff, Buzzwole, Urshifu, and Inteleon for Machampions. Scizor, Umbreon, Mamoswine, Alolan, Ninetales, Aegislash for Shadowhands. Our purple team's going to be Machampions. Our orange team for this game going to be Shadowhand. Let's see where everyone splits off to and who we've got where. Lapras and Sobble going bottom. Urshifu going into jungle. And Buzzwole and Jigglypuff going top. Meanwhile, Aegislash is down bottom alongside... I cannot tell what they're alongside. Aegislash is just going straight for stacks, though. Alongside the Umbreon. So that means Vulpix and Mamoswine up top and Scizor in the jungle. Everyone's fighting for the contested, trying to keep it there. EVs are going to evolve pretty fast, so you really don't want to be letting them get the contested XP if you can afford to. Contested XP is up. Switch gets bored. And we don't see Shadowhand actually going for that contested at all. They've stayed on their goal, staying pretty close to goal here. Up top, Shadowhand are pushing, though. They've got the Buzzwole looking a little dicey because the jungler has ganked, so points are going to be going across for Shadowhand here in the top point. Which feels bad, and it looks like the Scizor is going to be grabbing some extra points to get an extra stack. Meanwhile, down bottom, the Champions have just committed all their resources to pushing hardcore down bottom. They're almost taking out the Umbreon, but it's an Umbreon. Buzzwole helps out with that. Ninetales has made their way down bottom to help out with it. Sword has evolved, and the Champions, despite full pushing down bottom, are being chased off of the goal. And in fact, Shadowhands are doing a counter push, getting a bunch of points across and almost taking that tier 1 goal. A lot of points going across. Machampions did not get it worked out from that 4 push and are now in fact being 4 pushed themselves by Shadowhands, who are going to likely take out this Lapras. Lapras just surviving because the Wigglytuff is able to stop the Scizor with the Lapras. So now we're going to see Shadowhands peel out away from that. Inteleon is now all the way up to an Inteleon. Access to a lot more moves here. Are Machampions going for yet another push, despite only being 3 of them against 4? They're going to peel out of that push. Objectives in 30 seconds. Seeing these two teams going at each other so fast. An interesting choice for sure. Middle XP is up. Wigglytuff trying to keep them away from it so that Machampions can secure most of the XP. Levels looking pretty level here. A little bit more in favor of Shadowhands than Machampions. Machampions doing a hard push here on bot lane and able to break the tier 1 for Shadowhands. Haven't gone for the objective yet and are instead... We see Buzzwoles making their way up top. There is a bunch of Shadowhand up top going for the Aleki, prioritizing Aleki. Meanwhile, Machampions have prioritized the down bottom Reggie, which was a Reggie steal this time. Aleki going to Shadowhand, steal going to Machampions. Shadowhands are pushing this at the moment, moving their way through. Going into jungle to try and take their buffs and do a little bit of hindrance on their jungler. They catch the... they do catch... I forgot its name entirely. That Urshifu. They catch the Urshifu and the Buzzwole. And the Wigglytuff goes down. And they're actually just letting the Aleki walk. Trying to clear out the rest of the jungle. Tunks is able to escape out of there. And they're looking to kind of get an overdunk on this bot goal. Umbreon's opting for just taking that bottom goal. 132 points to 174. So everything to play for here. Aleki's still making its way towards the top goal, only just being taken out by the poor Lapras that had to fight it. Buzzwole seems to have been caught out by 3 members of Shadowhands in the jungle and is down. They go as they clear out the rest of that middle XP. Mamoswine lurking around the top to defend the top goal for Shadowhand. Can't be too careful with the Machampions, as they very much like to go for back caps when they get the opportunities to. And they will find opportunities wherever they can. Everyone's sticking to their sides of the maps now, focusing on farming. No one wants to go into any needless battles here. Looks like Machampions are making some sort of push, prioritizing the Alecki this time instead of the bottom Reggie. Mamoswine's in the bush. He's caught out by everybody. He unites to try and stop it, allowing the Scissor Time to come and try and stop this push. Inteleon trying with the snipe shots to do damage. Wigglytuff Unite out. Buzzwole Unite has been used, and most of Shadowhands have grouped up, and this push on the goal is not going to work. Lapras is going down. Wigglytuff and Inteleon left for Machampions. Not going to be able to contest very well against this Alecki if Shadowhands go for it, which it does look like Shadowhands are doing. As we watch Machampions regroup, we're going to wait to see if they're able to stop this Alecki advance, or whether Shadowhands are even going to push this Alecki. It looks like they're moving down to the bottom objective and are just going to leave Machampions dealing with that. Well, they can go and get a free objective. Fighting off the Alecki, we see 4 of Machampions there. Actually going to take the opportunity to just push the top goal. Meanwhile, Shadowhands are able to just work on this bottom objective and grab this Regirock for themselves. 1 minute 50 to a Rayquaza. We're meeting in the middle. Everyone's keeping to their sides of the map at the moment. Nobody wants any needless fighting. You don't want to risk the levels going over. Levels in the advantage of Shadowhand at present. Everyone's just going to keep to themselves and farm up their XP before the Rayquaza fight or the next objective spawns. Shadowhands are sticking around the bottom goal in case of a back cap. 192 points to 174, currently in favor of Machampions. Everyone is just focusing and prioritizing on getting their XP. Nobody wants to end up in it. There is going to be one more Regieleki before Rayquaza. Will we see them risk it? It's risky for Machampions to go for it, as Shadowhands have made most of their way up there. Only one player is not grouped up. The Aegislash is not with the rest of rest of Shadowhands. And Shadowhands have been prioritizing getting these Alekis. And Alecki going to tier 2. Not the end of the world, but still not the best. There comes Shadowhands. SMG. Sceptile is here. The Alecki is easily theirs because Machampions took this as an opportunity to back cap a bunch of points, getting them up to 306. So advantage is in their favor right now. Rayquaza has spawned, and weirdly, we're on opposite sides of the map. Machampions are on Shadowhand's side of the map, and Shadowhands are on Machampion's side. So this is getting a little confusing for little old doggo brain meets brain. But they're hiding out on bushes on the opposite sides. No one making a move. Machampion's not really needing to make the move right now with a 306-point lead. It's up to Shadowhands to go for a Rayquaza or to make moves here. And now we see the fighting begin. Shadowhands move over to Machampions and are blitzing through. Machampions losing 3 of their members so far to Shadowhands. Looking a little dicey for them. They are still in the lead, but if Shadowhands can get this Rayquaza, Lydia is just outrunning them, trying to stay out of their way, trying to stay from getting caught. They don't have much HP. The teams have respawned on the correct sides now, so I'm less confused. But Shadowhands are going for this Rayquaza. Snipe Shot attempts to do it, but they're able to get it. No Snipe Shot steal for the Inteleon. And now they just need to get the points across. Only 38 seconds to do it. They need a couple of 100 points to get themselves in the lead. 294, very close. Just one more dunk will do it. But they seem to be in a fray in the middle, so they haven't got the points yet. Sizzle has shield, able to go and push another 100 across. 23 seconds left, and Shadow Hands have now taken the lead. Everyone's on goal to defend from Machampions. No one's really sure who's in the lead, but Shadow Hands did get the point advantage with that extra 100 dunk. Let's see which team took it. Shadow Hands just grab it right in the last minute, getting themselves a point. It's first to 2 points to win this set. It's a best of 3 set. Name I can't say was MVP. Lapras MVP for Machampions. Scissor MVP for Shadow Hands. Lots of damage across the board, but relatively even across the splits here. Let's get them to magically switch sides and then see what happens. Sides have been swapped and we're moving over to the ban phase. Shadow Hands 1 point, Machampions none. Shadow Hands get priority bans. Let's see what they're looking to ban. They've debated it. Are they going for the duck? Don't want to see the duck. They don't want to see the duck. Liddy up for banning next. What does Liddy not want to see against Shadow Hands? Was there anything they particularly did not like? Still thinking Blissey is the shout. Do not want to see a Blissey. Over to Sceptile SMG for the bans next then. What are they feeling? They don't want to see anything Machampions had that scared them? Are they considering anything of that might be a problem for them? They're not. They're deciding that Miraidon is the way to go. And Cairo is going to ban the Leafeon. Don't want to see Leafeon. Leafeon has just had buffs as well, making it very strong for the speedsters. For our first pick, we're seeing Shadow Hands pick up the Sizzle. We've had a player switch in from Machampions as Henny joins himself, also known as I Want My Elo Back. Wigglytuff is secured for Machampions, and Sulking is grabbing the Ho-Oh. Over to Shadow Hands now. What are they going to pick and grab? Shadow Hands grabbing the Inteleon again. Are they also going to be picking up that Umbreon? They are. Mean Look Umbreon can be very nasty. Greninja for the Henny here, and Liddy's going to be picking up Metagross. Meanwhile, Unknown is grabbing Chandelure and Sceptile grabbing Blastoise. So complete role changes over here for these two teams. Last pick is over to Machampions, and they're going to be picking up the Delphox. And good few changes to the compositions here for this one. Sizzle, Umbreon, Inteleon, Chandelure, Blastoise for Shadow Hand, Wigglytuff, Ho-Oh, Greninja. And the game loaded in. And then Metagross and Delphox for Machampions. Your purple team, Shadow Hands. Your orange team, Machampions. We're going to follow the top lanes. I didn't know where I wanted to follow, but we're going to follow a top lane. Blastoise, Chandelure for the top. Sobble and Umbreon for bottom, and Scizor in jungle for Shadow Hand. Meanwhile, we're seeing a jungle invade happening for Machampions here. The Metagross and the Ho-Oh just not going for their lane at all and actually trying to mess with the invade. Just lurking about to see if they can pick up any of the XP. And are now going for a full bottom push, coming from behind to try and do a big old push on the Umbreon and the Sobble, keeping them from XP. The Jigglypuffs joined in, rolled on into them, done a slap. They are full pushing after a jungle invade. Machampions playing certainly some strats, getting some points across the board. Ho-Oh managing to eject button in to steal the berry. And now Machampions are going to retreat back to their goal to recover from their push. Meanwhile, up top, that means Shadow Hands have had a pretty free run of the top lane for Chandler and Squirtle to get XP. Bottom is still going in a fight. We've got, I think, almost all of Machampions down bottom right now. No, they're just completely sacking off top here for this one. Beldum is just respawning, but the rest of them are pushing. Machampions really trying to hinder this bottom lane, putting all their effort into hindering this bottom lane. The push is being fended off as Shadow Hands now push them back a little bit. And Beldum is actually going up top, going to get themselves some stacks now that they've gotten all of Shadow Hands to come down bottom. Middle XP has spawned. They're heading their way. Shadow Hands are going to grab it. Meanwhile, Metagross is going to grab some more stacks. And Shadow Hands are going to come up top to deal with that. Again, prioritizing top lane over bottom lane right now. Metagross is down for its stacking sins. And points are being pushed across top. Goal gone for Machampions. Down bottom, though, Machampions are pushing points back over 80 points to 82. Meaning an exact break from Shadow Hands up top. Shadow Hands are pushing the goal. Blastoise taken out one of the Wigglytuff. Now we've got Machampions doing a pushback, and they are fending it off. Are they going to return the push? Or are they going to go for the objective? It looks like they're going to return the push. They're getting points across while the Ho-Oh keeps them off, and the goal is over, and they are able to get the bottom objective as well. Meanwhile, Shadow Hands have gotten the Regieleki up top. And it seems Machampions are heading up top to defend that off. They don't want the points across, leaving the Metagross to defend the bottom goal, while Shadow Hands focus on going and getting XP. Aleki successfully fended off. No points put across. Machampions currently in the lead, 110 to 80. We're seeing fights going on down bottom as Shadow Hand attempt to push. Unites are going off. Umbreon has united. Delphox has united. Trying to keep this goal safe. They are fending off the Shadow Hand push. Able to keep them from taking their goal. Inteleon's having to leave, and Chandelure is up top. So they have successfully defended off their goal, have the Machampions, and are now able to go focus on getting their XP for a while. Some interesting strats from Machampions this game. Going for a jungle invade into 4 push. Chandelure hanging about to defend off their goal. We've got objectives spawning in the next 30 seconds or so. Will Shadow Hand still be prioritizing top? It does look at present like they are while they dance in bushes. Dancing majestically in the bushes as they wait for the top objective. Meanwhile, Shadow Hands have prioritized top as they do. And Machampions are prioritizing bottom. Bottom side, we see Machampions have 3 of their members there. Umbreon's defending the bot goal from backcaps, and a couple of Machampions are up top to try and hinder them getting this Aleki, but the Aleki is gotten, so Machampions are now focusing on getting the bottom objective, whilst a couple of them fend off the Aleki. More than happy to go for a fend off of the Aleki, it seems. Inteleon just shooting into Liddy there, trying to get it, but we're not going to be seeing Shadow Hands pushing this Aleki. It's acting as a distraction, as Shadow Hands, in fact, are prioritizing their push to bottom, where they are getting points across. Delphox Unite to try and keep them off the goal. Always going to be a strong thing. Delphox Unite is always really nutty. Down go a bunch of Shadowhands as Machampions fend off yet another push and get a team wipe, stopping Shadowhands from pushing. They are fending off these pushes remarkably, but the points are so close. 94 to 110. Defending and sticking on their sides, getting XP. That's the current objectives for the two teams. No point for needless fighting right now. 1 minute 22 till Rayquaza. If Shadowhands win this game, the Machampions will not get the point this week. But if Machampions win it, it'll go to a game 3. The first game 3 of this week. We're just watching as everyone vibes and defends their goal. 4 of Machampions lurking about this bottom goal. There's only a couple of members of Shadowhand. Meanwhile, Shadowhand are hanging around towards it. Greninja is the only thing there trying to stop them. They are likely to go for this Alecki because they have prioritized every Alecki so far. 2 being down bottom is more than enough, but actually, I'm not sure if they're gonna stick for that or not. While they go and get the Alecki, I'm curious if any pushes or attempts of a push will be made. Regieleki secured by Shadowhands, heading towards tier 2 for Machampions. Machampions not yet going on to the Regirock that has spawned. Instead, bush checking to see if they can find Shadowhands members that are there, allowing Shadowhands to go. They actually didn't send anybody to defend off the Alecki this time, so the Alecki has gone in. Everyone's just getting into Rayquaza positions. No one wants to have a needless death at the Regi just before Rayquaza. 114 points to 110. It's so close between these two teams right now. Everyone's in their positions on the correct side this time for Rayquaza. Not a complete changearoo that just happened in the last match. Henny is doing a few jabs at the Greninja. Greninja is doing a few jabs at the Rayquaza. We're seeing a bit of bush checking going on from Shadowhands here as the fight goes. Shadowhands are in the lead, but only by 4, so it's incredibly close. So while Machampions need to do a push to get some points across, any back cap would take this right now. Rayquaza fight's going. Unites are blasting off. Down goes 2 of Machampions, 2 of Shadowhands. Ho-Oh getting a res, reviving them. So Shadowhands are team wiped by Machampions here. The Ho-Oh res bringing back the members that were not there for the fight. And Machampions are able to get the Rayquaza. It's still such a close battle. It's so ridiculously close. Machampions need to get these points across. 43 points going across from the top there. And they're going to overcap this top one by a bunch. 490 points to 114. Machampions have done a clawback here with the Rayquaza, but there's still 40 seconds. Nobody's dead on Machampions' side, but 2 of team members of Shadowhands are currently down for the count. 3 of Shadowhands down for the count. Are Machampions, 4 of Shadowhands down for the count. Are Machampions going to be getting that team wipe? They are, and they're dunking the points in home. It's not likely that they're going to be able to do any pushbacks here from Shadowhands due to not being respawned, meaning Machampions have absolutely taken this and taken it to over 800 points, almost a 1,000-point game. They've respawned, but they're not going to be able to get across the map in time to do it. We'll see where they go. But I think Machampions have clawed back the point. Meaning it's a 1 apiece between these two teams as Machampions get 888 points to 114. So Machampions 1 point, Shadowhands 1 point. This is going to be going to a game 3 to determine who is the winner of the point this week for the league. Can Machampions take Shadowhands down a point? They lost to them in Season 1's finale, but can they bring it back this time around? MVP going to Blastoise and Delphox. Alrighty, we're going over to the final match between these two teams, with Machampions being on the left side now, getting first pick for bans and first pick for Pokemon. Or maybe they don't. I'm essentially crazy here, but they definitely get first pick for ban. They're banning the T-Tar this time around. T-Tar banned, Leafeon staying banned. Nobody is letting Leafeon play through on this one. And one more ban. What are we seeing go? An Espeon? We haven't seen Espeon be played yet, but maybe it's a shout against this team. Psyduck ban, Espeon ban, Leafeon, and T-Tar, meaning we're now... Eldegoss pickup for Machampions. Are we seeing a Dragapult pickup for Shadowhand? We saw Dragapult get banned against Jimmy's team, but not seeing Dragapult get any play yet. Also a Sizzle pickup for Shadowhand. They're very happy on the Sizzle pickups. Will we see Ho-Oh picked up again? Ho-Oh really helped out last game with being able to revive the two fallen members to give a bit of advantage. Kairu is going with Machamp, my boy! Machamp, he's here. And so is the Ho-Oh. Dragapult also still here. Looking to see what Tunks and Quasar are going to be picking up. Pikachu's getting some play. Oh, my boys. They're all getting some love. Crustle's in here now on the side of Shadowhands. Henny going on to the Glaceon. I think both my mains are in this game. And Liddy picking up the Mimikyu for their team. Sceptile SMG, the only member left to pick a Pokemon. What are they going to be picking? Going on to the Aegislash. We've seen a few team changes here. A few different compositions going on. Alrighty. Our teams are Eldegoss, Machamp, Ho-Oh, Mimikyu, and Glaceon for Machampions, Scizor, Dragapult, Crustle, Pikachu, and Aegislash for Shadowhand. Winner's going to be grabbing the point. Onto the rollout we go. Our purple team for this final round is going to be Machampions. Our orange team is going to be Shadowhands. Let's see how it go. Eldegoss and Glaceon down bottom. Ho-Oh and Ho-Oh Machop up top. Mimikyu in jungle. Meanwhile, it's Pikachu, Honedge down bot for Shadowhands. Crustle and Dragapult up top for the Shadowhands. And Scizor in the jungle. Actually, it looks like they're doing shared jungle strats for this one, as Honedge gets to take the blue buff and then join up with Pikachu on lane, as Pikachu holds off Machampions from getting any points across and grabs the XP that they can. Already got a Glaceon on the side of Machampions. Meanwhile, up top, we're seeing them fight for the contested... Machop is scared off from being able to do anything. Machampions having to back off from getting any stacks or pushes. 25 points across for Shadowhands, though, as they pushed on the bottom path with Pikachu and Aegislash. Able to grab middle XP as well, stopping Machampions from getting any further ahead. Glaceon obviously wanting to get to level 6. That's when Glaceon really picks up momentum. Midbirds are here. Pikachu goes for an Electro Ball steal. Isn't quite able to stop it, but jungle is down bottom, as is the jungle for Machampions. So both junglers are down here. Machampions doing a pushback here, able to pick up a kill on one of Shadowhands, but not able to progress it much further than that, not wanting to face off against the Pikachu. Aegislash now returning. Scissors back to jungle. 20 seconds till midbirds. $25 points to Shadowhands. 0 points to the Machampions right now. Meeting in the middle as the 8-minute birds spawn. Machampions have most of their team there, as does Shadowhands. A lot of the XP going over to Machampions, but Shadowhound's actually getting a couple of members killed, losing 2 of their members. Meanwhile, the Eldegoss falls down for the Machampions. Dragapult caught out and goes down. What priorities are we going to be seeing this time around for objectives? Machampions taking this opportunity to go for a top goal. And they're able to break it despite the Scizor turning up and trying to put some damage across to stop them. 90 points to 25 in favor of Machampions right now. 7 minutes 25 left on the clock. Tunks is trying real hard to get those points across, but the Eldegoss is able to stop them. But the Honedge is able to get a stack. So profit in terms of that for Shadowhounds there. They're able to go for the middle XP pretty unproblematically there. Evolving on... Oh, the Aegislash evolves, but still gets taken out. Glaceon using its Unite, going backwards with it. 3 of Shadowhounds are currently down bot. Shadowhounds are putting pressure onto the Machampions goal, but Glaceon is trying to fight it off. It was all just a distraction while the Dragapult secures the Registeel. And now they're going to be able to get points across on the bottom. Putting some points over for Shadowhounds now. 139 to 60 points, 65, 95, catching up the difference. The Alecki did go in on top as the Machampions were able to push the Alecki over as the bottom fights were taking priority. Litty is caught out, but takes out the Aegislash, but is caught out by a bunch of members of Shadowhounds in the middle there, unfortunately. Going down. Everyone's now doing the focus on the XP part of the game. Trying to get the levels up. 2 level 10s on the side of Shadowhounds versus the 1 level 10 on side of Machampions. So levels are a little bit in favor of Shadowhounds right now, but nothing that can't be caught up. Everyone's gathering at the top path. Are we going to see a push? Quasar lurking in a bush. Litty does run into him, is caught by Quasar and taken out, meaning Shadowhounds have a 5v4 push here. Pikachu Unite shredding through. 3 of Machampions go down, and Shadowhounds push a bunch of points across the top goal, taking it to 186 points to 139. Now we're sitting pretty as Shadowhounds are set up for how they want to be to go towards the Alecki, which they do prioritize. They do make priority of the Alecki. Alecki is easily theirs, heading towards the top goal for Machampions, who are going to be fending off this one. Meanwhile, Shadowhounds are making their way down bottom. 3 of Machampions are down bot, however. Fending off that Alecki is the Mimikyu and the Glaceon. Meanwhile, down bottom, everybody's having a little bit of a scuffle going for it, and it seems Shadowhounds are putting Machampions on a bit of a run-off there, being able to send just a Dragapult to go for the objective if they want. So it's a little bit risky, it's a little bit dicey. Quasar trying to keep Machampions pushed back, and Dragapult clearing through the objective while they do so. One minute 52 till the Rayquaza. Everyone's going to be focusing on getting their XP and getting Unites if they don't already have them. Only a couple of players without Unites right now in the game. Everyone's chilling, everyone's vibing. 25 seconds to the next Alecki, so I imagine Shadowhounds are going to be making their way towards top. Can see that the sword is already doing that. Shadowhounds have gathered up top, the last Alecki of this game and this set of series. They're going for it, but Machampions are coming in, trying to steal it, but Shadowhounds secure it. Machampions are going to be having another Alecki heading towards their goal. A big old wipeout going on here. Machampions kind of taking out a lot of Shadowhands here at the top. 3 of Shadowhands gone, fended off the Alecki. 4 of Shadowhands gone just before Rayquaza. Alecki going in. Unfortunately, I was incorrect about it being fended off. Points not carried over. People are respawning, but damn if it didn't see a bunch of Unites used from the side of Machampions there to wipe out Shadowhands. So this Rayquaza fight is going to be a bit dicey. 139 points to 206, so really, again, any back cap is going to be kind of the thing. Everyone's hiding in their bushes, just waiting to make a move. Right now, Shadowhands have the slight advantage, so they don't really need to make a move. Everyone's taking it chill. You just don't want to jump out and do this wrong. Probably Machampions holding out here, waiting for their Unites to come back. A couple of them have. Machamp's got it back. Glaceon's got theirs back. Just waiting on a Mimikyu and Eldegoss to get their Unite back. So we know Shadowhands still have all their Unites to play with. Ho-Oh having a little bit of an investigation, wondering what's going on. 1 minute 11 left on the clock. Somebody needs to do something. Aegislash uniting into the bush, forcing Machampions out of the bush. Litty getting caught by a wall, meaning they could be pounced on. This is looking a little dicey. Unites are being thrown out from Shadowhands. That's 2 of Machampions gone down. 2 of Shadowhands down. 3 of Machampions down. Tonks goes down for Shadowhands. It is just an Eldegoss against a Scizor and a Crustle, which is going to have a rough time. Gets walled in and pounced on by the Scizor. 5 of Machampions down to the 3 of Shadowhands. All Shadowhands have to do is go back cap now. Crustle going for a 50. The Scizor going for a 50. It's pretty dicey. 100 across for Shadowhands. Another 100 across. 406 to 139. Still respawning on the side of Machampions, so not likely to get across the map and get points in. It looks like this game might be cooked in the side of Shadowhands. Going for one little scuffle in the raid pit anyway for the final few seconds, because why not? Why not have a little free-for-all there? Taking out players. Well played from both sides of the teams. No points across from the champions. So it looks like Shadowhands are going to be the ones that take the victory this week. Meaning, can anyone stop Shadowhands? Or will it end up being the finale tournament where people are going to have to try and take Shadowhands down? We've seen people take games from them, but we haven't seen people take sets. 406 points to 139. Shadowhands takes the points. Henny being MVP as the Glaceon for Machampions. Scizor being the MVP for Shadowhands. If we take a look at the current scores, we're ending this week's set with Midnight Rain with 0 points. But look at again next week. Next week, you guys got this. Bit of practice, and the next set, you got this. Machampions, Phantastic Academy, both on 1 point. Skysiders and Venoshock on 2 points, and Shadowhands still at the top of the bracket right now with 3 points. But it is all still to play for. There are still 2 sets to go before we end up working onto our finale tournament where people will be facing off to win it all. Are Shadowhands going to get a second victory? Will anybody be able to take it? We'll have to find out. The next set will be a week on Saturday, so I'll see you guys then. If you want to catch them live, it's over on my Twitch, which is linked in the description. If not, or if you're interested in joining or getting involved in next season for maybe season 3, join the Discord. Otherwise, Big Dog Champ Nick's ready.
Step forward, 2 steps back.